Guys, this is it. It's all playing out again. The shows this time is not different. And that means for now, it's maybe a little painful, but the bullishness that's about to come, everybody is now ignoring that. This is not the typical bear market where it's unwise to be bullish. This is the moment before the bear market where everybody gets shaken out of the market before it finally goes up. And today I'm going to show you exactly why that is. I'm excited as hell, okay? This is because this is going to change your life for the better right now. You might not believe it right now, but I'm going to explain it, okay? So welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell notification on. Let's keep it a little real right here, okay? We can panic if everything is low. We can be euphoric when everything is high. But just let's take a look what's actually going on right here now. So first off, Bitcoin back in the 70s. Why am I smiling about that? Because it is so fucking funny, as we discussed already in like December, like, hey guys, Bitcoin can go to 75K and that would make this cycle more the same instead of different. And if this cycle is the same compared to last two cycles, we know what we can expect after this, right? So that's what we're gonna discuss right now. And also the altcoin market, because yeah, altcoins are dropping with it. Not like extremely hard the last couple of days, depending on what kind of shitcoins you're in, of course. But it's actually not looking that bad. But there are a couple of things that still have to check off for me in order to go in heavy. So I have my checklist right here and I just want to go over all of that. So first off, Bitcoin 70, 75K. So we said it a couple times on the channel, like, hey guys, it looks bullish out there, but let's not forget that Q1 of the post-halving year, both last cycles had a drop of 35%. In 2017, we saw this drop happen in December to January, right? We had a 35% drop. And if you feel like, it's now February, it's not lining up. Look, a month, 2 months difference in a 4-year cycle, whatever, right? However, you could also see that it had a drop in 2017 in March, right? In February until, well, yeah, April, basically. So it is very cyclical stuff. Now, in 2021, we had a run-up at the end of the halving year already, and then beginning post-halving year, January until February, we again had a drop of more than 30%. So I said earlier on the channel, like, guys, look, we have this whole range right here, right? Where Bitcoin was kind of struggling to break out. It lasted months and people thought it was different because it never took so long, etc., etc. And it was kind of just because Bitcoin went up too fast and here it compensated for it, right? However, this level was quite huge. It took months to finally break out. So it says something about the resistance right there. But past resistance could turn into future support. And we have never retested that level as support. So I said, one, there is a chance that we do that. But two, also, if we do get that 35% drop, where would it take us? To that $70,000 level, right? And yeah, we are kind of almost there, right? We so far already had a drop of 28.5% to $97,000. So what's another 4K, right? So this is almost checked off for me, but hey, we can also look at it like this, right? Bitcoin here had a drop of 35%. Here it had a drop of 31%. Can we here see a drop of 28.5%, right? The losses are, of course, also a little diminishing during these cycles. So, yeah, look, at this point, especially in the short term, I don't know what to predict, right? Could this be the bottom for Bitcoin? Yeah. Can we go lower? Yeah. I don't know. I don't care. I want to be a millionaire. And if you want to do that, then I think the best thing is just to not buy every little dip, but the real liquidation events, the shakeouts like this, these are the opportunities that you want to buy up. So this is the first thing that shows like, hey, the whole cycle is so far doing what it does, but then we need this 30% correction also. And now we are there, right? So this is more confirmation like, hey, this is 2021 and especially 2017 so far all over again. Now, we can be bearish because of that. We can also take a look like, hey, if everything is repeating, including this, right? What came after these drops? Well, in 2021, Bitcoin still had 140% to go after that before it topped out. And in 2017, don't expect that. But there we had about 2,500% to go. But it does show like, hey, you know, at this stage of the market, when it's following after these drops, Bitcoin so far always goes up. Now, these are only two pieces of history, but it is funny to me, like that we spoke about this a couple months ago, and that we said like, yeah, that would finish it, right? And here we are. So it is really coincidence, and I don't believe in that much coincidence actually. Well, am I buying Bitcoin? Fuck no, right? Look, if Bitcoin goes to like 30K, I sell my kids, man. But for now, I'm not buying Bitcoin. Why is that? Okay, so let me check off the Bitcoin back to 75K. Why am I not buying Bitcoin? Because I'm gonna look at the dominance, right? And I'd be like, okay, if everything drops, whatever, right? What would you buy if you can buy, right? If you still have cash. Well, if the Bitcoin dominance goes really low, yeah, then you can better buy Bitcoin because then it has more room to go up so that Bitcoin goes outperform, right? But if the Bitcoin dominance is still on the high side, I feel like then it has more room to go down. So then you can better buy quality altcoins. Now, during this drop for Bitcoin, it's not that the Bitcoin dominance is mooning or anything, but it's also not that it's crashing. It's in fact going down, right? But not much. It's still at the high side. So therefore, I feel like, man, it's for me better to buy altcoins. And can the dominance go up a little bit from here? Sure. But we should not try to time bottoms, tops, whatever, right? I think that a lot of people go wrong there. They buy, they see it go lower, and they panic. Of course, you didn't catch the bottom. Whoop-de-doo. Neither did I. Neither did nobody, basically, right? Don't try to aim for that. Now, another thing that I think is really, really, really interesting is, again, that the Bitcoin dominance, like we said, is going down together with this Bitcoin drop, right? What happened last cycles during these corrections? If we overlay the Bitcoin dominance on this chart, you can see that during this Bitcoin correction, the dominance also went down. And in 2017, during the Bitcoin drop, the dominance from here went down a little bit, like a little bit, right? That's exactly what we're doing right now. Like, sorry, I'm hyped. It's not that there's anything on this chart or whatever that shows me, oh, this time is different. It is so scary the same. And that makes me so bullish because we all know what came after all of this. And again, that's not a guarantee that it's going to happen right now, but it's getting way more likely, right? So after Bitcoin was done dropping here, what we saw is that the Bitcoin dominance didn't go up together with Bitcoin during Bitcoin's recovery. That means that altcoins went up harder right here, especially here when the Bitcoin dominance started to really fall down while Bitcoin was going up. That was full-blown alt season, right? Here, after the Bitcoin drop, we saw Bitcoin going up, and again, the Bitcoin dominance first a little sideways, and then we saw the Bitcoin dominance tanking. Right? Again, huge alt season. What we're seeing right now, again, is Bitcoin correcting, Bitcoin dominance going down, right? So if we get a Bitcoin recovery and the Bitcoin dominance maybe goes sideways a little bit, altcoins will do well, start to outperform a little bit. And that makes sense because that makes the shift for people in their minds like, oh, it's all going up, but altcoins are going harder than Bitcoin. Maybe be in altcoins right now, right? And then when Bitcoin is really going up, altcoins can explode again. That's how it happened last cycles. I wouldn't be surprised if the same plays out. I mean, again, until the day of today, everything is playing out, right? So I'm pretty okay with that, actually. So for now, it's just a matter of holding on. And if you have the funds and the balls, I would say deploy, right? And you won't try to time it anyway, but that doesn't really matter. Now, let's get a little deeper into the altcoin market right now because we see Bitcoin fucking. It sounds weird. It's going down, but it's fucking fantastic. Really bullish. Okay. Just explain why I see it like that. Now, one other thing is the USDT dominance, right? The USDT dominance shows how much money is sitting in USDT compared to the rest of the market, and that's of course shooting up right now. People are taking profits out of Bitcoin, out of altcoins. Are there people in profits in altcoins? Yeah, there are actually people in profits, right? Like, and they feel like, okay, let me put it in USDT, whatever. The market is now capitulating, man, and that's the time to buy, right? It's very simple. Buy the fear, sell the greed. This is pretty fucking fair if you ask me, right? And I get the sentiment, guys. I get it. If you are on the water or if you are newer maybe and feel like, oh, this is scary, I want to sell, I get that. Then again, look at the fear and greed index. It's sitting at 16. It was sitting at 10, right? 10. They don't say buy the fear and sell the greed for nothing, right? If you purely buy at these levels and sell at these levels, I will calculate it once what kind of win rate you exactly have, but it's high. It's really high, right? So this should be more than enough to turn off your emotions and be like, yeah, okay, this is kind of like the best way to do it, right? So, but the USDT dominance, what's interesting, if you ask me, look, it is still in a downtrend, right? Believe it or not, we have a high, we have a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. We have a whatever you take the low here, maybe and a lower low, a lower low, and you might feel like double bottom. Yeah, this was a lower low actually, right? So it's still in an up in a downtrend, which is good, right? Now, where is the big resistance sitting? If you ask me, look, I mean, this red box is resistance, right? We can see it here, we can see it here. We have support right here, support here, resistance, support, and now we're finding this as resistance. And we have this diagonal line which defines the downtrend that it's in, right? And they come together in April. So might it be that we hover here a little bit, nothing really happens. We now go down to around 80, 70K, spend a lot of time there, bores the shit out of people after they got dragged. Then they go, sell because of time capitulation. Then we meet this, get a rejection and go down again so the market can have a big move up. I mean, it kind of all comes together if you ask me. Now, about altcoins. So this is really interesting. Where should I begin? First, some people might say like, well, no, it is a bear market because altcoins are sitting near their bear market lows. And some altcoins are, especially if you are in the high risk altcoins, right? However, if you are in the, I don't know, man, the AVAX, for example, or whatever, or a Solana or an Ethereum, they are far from their lows, right? The problem, however, is that a lot of people, they don't care about those coins, right? They don't care about these coins. They only care about the high risk coins because there they can potentially get a lot of rewards. However, it showed like, hey, we had a lot of reward at a certain point of the market, but in the cyclical correction, the higher risk coins also get wrecked hardest. Like that's something that you should have seen coming, right? You step in the altcoin market because you want more returns than Bitcoin. So you should also be able to accept the fact that it brings more risk than Bitcoin. And that's now what we're getting, and that's what a lot of people can't handle. Yeah, like, okay, I don't know, okay. But on the AVAX, I mean, it's not fantastic at this moment, right? Up 2.5x from the bear market. But then again, if you bought somewhere around the lows and you rode it up, you made a 7.5x on a relative safe asset, right? And you had a lot of time to take some decent profits so you can now get into the bear market ranges again, right? If you are just buying to hold only without taking profits, it's fine. With the quality coins, you will get there, but it requires a lot of patience, right? But is it weird that we see some coins getting wrecked? This is a meme coin, for example, and this thing, it had a decent run, but it also went down 96%. Guys, like, I remember getting so much shit on this channel for not buying meme coins here. Meme coin super cycle. Why would you not buy meme coins? Because I don't want to be down 96%, bro. Like, I don't like that, right? That's not the way for me to make it. And there are a couple of these exceptions that just got wrecked really, really, really hard. Now, there are also coins like A-Chain GPT, for example, that from the last run are also down a lot, right? 73%. Right, which brought it back to 12 cents. But if it got slapped down with 96%, it would be at 1.7 cents. It would be like, again, almost 10 times as low as now, right? That difference between 70% and 90% is fucking huge, right? You have to understand that. Therefore, you have to be in coins at this stage of the market where you can play a little on the defense while maintaining upside. And there's one specific coin that I'm buying like crazy right now, which I will mention in a short while. But this is the reason for people to say like, oh, this time is different because altcoins are going down 90%. Well, one, yeah, the shit coins right now, they do go down 90%. But why the fuck would you buy shitcoins in a market which has not confirmed any form of alt season or bullish momentum, right? It's not what you're supposed to do. Also, it is not that weird, right? And I've showed this before, but if you look at 2017, right? 2016, 17 bull market. Again, you can take a look at Bitcoin first, right? And here we have 2016, 17. When did the bull market start? Yeah, we had kind of a double bottom. So you can either take it from January 2015 or August 2015, but at least late 2015 until the end of 2017, the bull market was on. You can see that right here, right? This is a clear bull market. Okay, check, got that, right? However, we had altcoins, and these are coins mostly from the top 10, but also from a little top 25 back in 2017. So not even the risky shit coins back then, although they all were, but right? They went down 98.8%, right? When? From July 2016 until March 2017, right? Now, like until like basically now in that cycle, right? And we just saw that Bitcoin was going fucking parabolic right there. But this went down 98%, and this was one of the bigger cryptos. Can you imagine how people felt back then? This right now, like it's over, it's different, is nothing compared to how bad the sentiment was back then. Because back then, you got wrecked even way harder on the safer coins, right? You now get wrecked a little less on the risky shit. So we all know what happened after that. Because this thing from like, well, March 2017 had a 15,000% gain, right? Why did it go up so hard? Because everybody capitulated right here, right? Nobody believed here, right? We have way more belief right now, way more, right? But nobody believed here. Also because we had nothing really to look back on, like, oh, this is cyclical or whatever. It was just, okay, I'm fucking wrecked. Let's get out, right? And the few people that were left or thought like, oh, let me buy that dip, they got rich. They got really rich, right? So is this different when it comes to altcoins? No, it's like, yeah, it's different in the way that now it's by far not so bad as it was back then, right? So again, if you cannot handle this, okay, fine. But you see the kind of reward that you missed out on, right? And it's not an exception. Zcash came out, right? We also now have a lot of coins coming out. Don't do well. Zcash came out, crashed 99.93%. Like, that was dead, right? Went from 30K, I don't even know if this is correct, man. 30K to 20 bucks. What the fuck? Can you imagine doing Bitcoin doing that, right? And then it went from 20 bucks all the way to like $900. Like, how? And even Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin back then, it just had a 60% correction, right? Was one of the bigger ones and the more blue chippy hippie coin. 60%. What do we have right now? Da, 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 da. This is unbelievable, right? You cannot look at this video and still be bearish on crypto. I cannot imagine, bro. I can't. I really can't. And it's not to give you hopium or whatever. I really just want to show you what happened before and what's happening right now and how fucking similar it is and what to expect maybe and how bullish that is. I want to look at the bearish case scenario if I see it. But it is not here. The only bearish thing is the sentiment. That's it. But this bearish sentiment is actually a bullish signal, right? And why is the sentiment bearish? Because newer people in crypto, they come into crypto, they buy the top on a shitcoin, right? And I'm saying change it, but let's go to this one again or whatever, or fart coin or whatever the fuck, right? But they see something go up, they see these Morad posts, they look at crypto banter, they hear altseason all the time or whatever, or meme coin super cycle, outperforming the stock market kind of bullshit. They buy the top, they get wrecked with 90%, and then they call that crypto is a scam and altcoins are dead and this time is different. No, you just fucked up. How come that I'm not in the loss and you are, right? For the one that feels like that, right? We have the same market. It's timing. Timing is key. Timing is key to the fullest, okay? So, again, you know, by looking at these older coins, 2015, whatever, RAP, for example, also end of 2016, it fell until the end of 2016, basically, right? Zcash fell until March, Doge fell in that period. It's all around that, right? Also, 82% casual, right? Doesn't matter what happened after that. It had a pump of 5,000%, basically, right? We can go through this whole list. So, no, it's not different. Now, there's one thing that I have to see getting checked off to really go all in for me. I don't know, we'll talk about that. Because going all in, yeah, it's not smart, but there's one thing that makes me go all in. Now, the first thing, though, about altcoins as well is that if you look at others, right? So the top 125, excluding the top 10. This is reflecting the altcoin market best, right? We are almost at this trend line once again. You see what it did here? Again, nothing is guaranteed or whatever. But every time we hit this trend line, what happened after that? First time we hit this trend line, we had a move up of 344%. Here we hit this trend line, we had a move up of 127%. You can more call this a dead cat bounce because it was actually still going down, right? But then we had a move up of 127%. Here in this cycle, right? This accurate kind of stuff right now, right? We bounced from this trend line. We had a move up of 385%. Here, we bounce again. We had a move up of 200%. We're now almost there again. 4 out of the 4 had a move of at least 127%. Again, it's not a guarantee, but it's a matter of odds, right? That's all, what crypto is. And therefore, betting at these lows that you should sell or short is beyond stupid, right? This is like, it could play out like that. But it's betting like if you go to a horse race and you're going to bet on a horse with 3 legs in a wheelchair, yeah, it could still win if the other fast horse drops dead or all of a sudden or whatever, but it's not the smartest choice, right? You won't do that. This is exactly the same. My metaphors need to get a little better. But you know what I mean, right? So this is really interesting if you ask me. Now, again, what needs to get checked off to wrap it up? Right? Well, like I said, Bitcoin going to 75. Look, 70 is my worst case scenario, because that would line up with 2017, right? 75 would line up with 2021. Around where we are right now also would line up with the fact that we have diminishing returns, losses. If we really go below, let's say, 70 on a closing basis, then I would be able to consider that this time is going to be a little different. Not going to say that it's all over, but then we should consider that, hey, this is playing out a little different than usual, right? Anything above that, I would say bullish, right? Super bullish, buy the dip bullish, right? So this, I can already give this some kind of a green check mark, right? The other green check mark, though, that is not here yet is the altcoin market, because Bitcoin having its, last cycle kind of correction is there. However, the altcoin market, look, altcoins, if you look at this, went into a bear market. We had a rally 300-ish%. We went down 60%. We went up 150% or so. And then we went down 70%. What did we do right now? Went into a bear market. We went up 300-ish%. We had a correction of 60%. We went up again with like 200% or so. And now we are on our way down. Are we there on the 70% correction already? We're not, right? And that's the only thing, in my opinion, that doesn't need to get checked off. But if that gets checked off, then it's a no-brainer for me to go hard in the altcoin market, right? Because then everything is really repeating exactly the same. We should consider, though, that the last cycle was a black swan, right? Was COVID. Yeah, I mean, you should not count on a black swan, but it's also not that we should say like it can't happen again, right? But so far, the altcoin market went down with 50% from the highs, right? 70% would actually bring it to this red box right here. That would, again, I've said that before, but that would be the COVID level of 2025. And if the market gets there, that's a buy for me for altcoins. So, yeah. Bitcoin finding its seasonal correction, check. Altcoins, maybe a little check, because we can also look at it like this, right? The altcoin market was already going down, right? But on this week right here, we got COVID. And let's put it on the daily, actually, so we can see it a little bit better. So we can also see like, hey, without COVID, what would it have been actually, right? Now, look, this is the tool, right? So from the top, the altcoin market went down with 43%, right? And then we had another day where it went down with like in total 64%. That point. Does that make sense? Yeah, because I had to take it from here. So, but without COVID, we can see that 43% correction was normal again during the stage of the market, right? Yeah, we know 50, like, right? It's really the same. So yeah, if we do get a black swan, it depends on what happens, but it could be that we get here. But it's also kind of like, great, right? If we want QT, if we want the Fed to print money, shit has to break, right? Well, I mean, the S&P is like not really looking broken or anything, but a 2.5% drop for the weekly on the S&P, it's not a small move, right? Especially if you consider that the week before was also red and we had like a almost 5% correction for the S&P in a row. I'd like that shows like, okay, there's something going on right there. And then the Fed might have to step in. And that's what's gonna put it all up again. So I'm really bullish on this. Altcoins on the Bitcoin pair. I said a while back, QT, they hint that QT is probably going to stop somewhere mid-2025. That has always aligned with alt season, right? So for the people that were fading alt season, like, stop doing that now, okay? We now have that. So I said like, hey, it could be that altcoins bottomed. already on the Bitcoin pair, or that it's going to happen between now and May, probably, right? It happens that we are now going up, right? So I remember that when I made that video, people said also like, oh, you're calling the bottom. But so far, I mean, we're now high. Like, it's like not wrong or anything, right? Like, let's see how this plays out. So, guys, shit, there's so much that I can show. Oh yeah, last thing, what I'm buying right now. Again, not buying Bitcoin. Dominance too high for me. But I'm also not buying the risky altcoins, really. On the Alpha Factory, there's a link down below. I share what I buy exactly, but the altcoin that I'm buying most of right now is this one right here. Symbol Ethereum, right? Why Ethereum? Because Ethereum is now at a level that I feel like, yeah, look, lowest risk altcoin out there, right? Lowest risk altcoin out there. And at 2K, it has a lot of upside for me, right? It has a lot of upside for me. So the uptrend is broken right now. Yeah, that's fine. Like diagonals are not everything, right? Then we have to look for, okay, where are the horizontals sitting? Yeah, it happens to be that this level, what we got going on right here, is looking fucking strong, right? And it can go lower, whatever. It could, definitely it could, right? But I feel like, can Ethereum go to 10K in this cycle? Yeah. It's now 2K. So that's a 5x, potentially, right? Can it go down another 50%? I think that's a little extreme, but even if it could, then losing 50% against gaining potentially 5x is a good risk-reward ratio, right? So this is it. This is it, guys. I'm bullish. I'm really, really, really bullish right now. We don't have to be emotional right now, okay? That's going to wreck you. That is going to wreck you. I already know. These comments are going to be full of people that are scared, new, want to sell, want to short, whatever. Wreck yourself, right? But this is not the moment for that. These were the moments to sell or short. This is to buy and long, maybe, right? Very simple. That's the basics, right? So we're going to make it, guys. We're really going to make it. If you have cash to deploy, consider yourself very fucking lucky, okay? If you don't, sit it out. Sit it out, learn from it, and nail it the next cycle. I'll be there. So thanks for watching. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell notification on. See you soon.